Hello, hello. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and I am live, and I'm going to try my hardest today not to drop my phone here, which I use to film. There's no one here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and continue anyway in the hopes that someone stops by. The last time that I did a live tutorial, a couple of people trickled in, and then it ended up being a lot of fun, so I'm just going to go with that. And see if anyone stops in. Let's see here. I'm going to try to be proactive, so before anyone stops in, then what I'm going to do is try to get myself to my video here online. There we go. And I'll see if anyone stops in. Hello, hello. If not, then I will just be crafting. I've got a bowl of rosettes here, in case anyone rewatches the videos. So this is what I'm working on. I'm in a swap, and I decided this year, my birthday's tomorrow, so I decided to give myself as a gift just one swap this month because that's all that I can commit to. And my my chat is telling me that there are 2 people here. I'm guessing one of them is me. Let me see here. Oh, good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, good morning. If you could invite friends to this live, if you have the opportunity to do so, I would highly appreciate it. I'm just coming here live to respond to a couple of questions that I got from my last video. I guess I should have posted it on some of the Facebook groups, but I didn't even have time for that. I just figured I should hop on here and yeah, and start crafting, and if anyone trickled in, that'd be fine, and if not, that's okay. But I'm working on this, Evelyn, actually for the swap. So this is a preview. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Yeah, so when you know all about the swap, and I'm referring to the group Creando con Ellas, and I'm gonna just announce a couple of things here, even though it's just you and I right now, Evelyn, but in case anyone rewatches the video so that they'll know the reason for it. So anyway, the swap is regarding some tags. I'll show the ones from last year. And oh, I'm sorry, made by you. Oh gosh, Evelyn, thank you so much. The group is made by you. Oh gosh, thank you, Evelyn. So this is the one we did last year, and this is probably not going to fit. So let me see if I can zoom out without ruining this, because this is my greatest fear. Okay, so pardon the appearance here. This is where I craft. Yes, so the group is called Made by You on Facebook. You're right, Evelyn. This is, it's good to give shout outs so that people know. It's an amazing group of crafters. Everyone there is very supportive. And so we decided to do a swap. We did the swap last year with these tags. And so we're repeating the swap this year. And the requirements were to make a tag that had, I think it was, I don't remember, Evelyn, if it was 3 or 5 elements. I want to say that it was 5 elements that were unique or, embellishments or something like that. And sorry about the lighting there. That kind of caught the light. And then, as you guys can see, for anyone who rewatches the video, the tags were magnificent. Just absolutely. Yes, 3 to 5. Thank you, Evelyn. And I fell in love with this. So right now, time is very tight for me, even though I'm doing a live video, but I decided that I wanted to go ahead and treat myself to that as a birthday gift to myself. Like I just said, it coincided with the date. So That's the one from last year, and I'm going to try to reach over here because I have it up on the wall. Try not to get in the way of the camera there. So what I did was that I started working on some items, and this is one of them, and they are the rosettes. So I'm going to zoom back in again. There we go, so you can see my work area there. But in the live video that I did recently, the last one, I was asked about hacks or, you know, ways to save money, not save money, but to not have to get all of the dyes out there, since there's so much controversy around certain dyes that are being shown, or, you know, I don't really want to get into that in this video, but I have these dyes here from Tim Holtz, and I have, let's see here, the dyes, and I'm referring to rosettes at this moment. I'm referring to, okay, so then I have these rosette dyes here also. These are from David to Tara, and then I have this one that's from Nicole Silhouette, and what I decided to do was to make some rosettes and show you guys different ways of going about it where you don't have to go out and spend more money, or at least try to, you know, save money here and there. So I was working on these, and as you know, right now the big trend is to use Maggie Holmes. Her items are sold, you know, in these really beautiful bright colors, and everybody likes it, or, you know, the majority of people do. And I was thinking about that, and so I decided to start taking things out of my crafty bins here and seeing how I can use them to kind of recreate that without having to break the bank. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. And this is what I was talking about in my last video, is that you can just kind of stretch what you have. And I'm sorry, I'm hoping this is gonna focus. Let's see here. All right, hopefully that's a better focus. But what I did here was that I used one of the dies that came in the memory decks card that I showed before, and I cut out the word smile, and I used that as if it were a sticker, but that is on top of a sticker. Let me see if I can, I'm sorry, on my screen, here we go. On my screen it shows a little blurry, but there's a sticker there, and then on that sticker is actually dimensional. And then I used a little wooden piece. I used a little butterfly that I punched out with my Martha Stewart punch, a little flower, and then a leftover piece of ribbon. So this allows me to create kind of like a little scene on top without having to go crazy buying things, because the stickers came from the dollar store. So that is, you know, with one pack of stickers, and let me grab those. I should have had that ready. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I should have had the stickers ready, but with a pack of stickers such as these, which I think are absolutely lovely. These are really, really pretty stickers. Sorry about the glare. You can definitely layer them, especially like if you see this round one. So let me go ahead and make one while I'm talking about it. You can take these stickers and make your own little dimensional items, or embellishments as we like to call them, right? And I think that one's adorable. I hadn't even noticed. I buy these and then they end up in a stack. So let's find a rosette. Let's see here. Here's another one. Here's another example. So this one I just added a flower, a couple of flowers, and then that one there I sprayed to make it shiny. So what I can do is try to find one that this will fit on, and here's another sample. This one here, what I did was that I used 3 different papers, and I wanted to show this as an example also of what you can do with your scraps. Instead of tossing them, if you've used some pretty papers on a project and you just have a few left over, then it doesn't matter if they're not all the same color. You can make a rosette and it looks really festive and pretty. So I could put this one here, Or let's see if I can find one that's, yeah, it's kind of, the sticker's kind of big for these. Oh, here's another one. I used a stamp, a Maggie Holmes stamp with the little swan. So I altered this one and added a little golden flower and then a paper flower that was given to me, and more little flowers here. And then in the centers of the flowers, I added sequins. So no, they did not come like that. I could have paid for flowers. They indeed had them at Hobby Lobby. And I saw them. They had little flowers with sequins on them. And of course, in my mentality, I came home and I just made my own. I decided I don't have to pay for that because I can make them at home with either dies or punches, whatever you have laying about. It does, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of liking that. So let's see here, because this one's got a little bit of shine. So what I'm going to do, actually I'll just leave it like that, is I'll just place this one here. But what I want to do is to also make it a little more frilly. So let me show you another way of going about that. And that is to use something like this, which is eyelash yarn. So what I'll do is I get this eyelash yarn from, actually I've gotten them at estate sales and things like that. It can be quite pricey. So if I go to an estate sale and it just so happens they have crafty items, I tend to, you know, take a peek at that. And if it's something that I know I can use, then I bring it home. Or, you know, get it while it's on sale. So I'll just bunch it up like that. And I'm sorry that this isn't focusing as well as it normally does. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply the adhesive to the back of my sticker, even though it's sticky, but because I'm applying something that's dimensional, I want to make sure that it does stay. And, excuse me, I just had a little bit of an accident. You can bear with me. The things that happen live don't happen any other time. I am going to have to, let's see here. All right. I'll be right back. Evelyn, since it's just you and I won't be offended if you leave. I'll be right back. I just had an accident and I spilled my drink. So I guess I know what I need for my birthday, which is something that'll hold my drink without spilling. All right. Thank God the card did not get wet. I almost ruined this card. Oh my goodness. So take a peek at that card while I clean up my mess. I apologize. These things don't ever happen in a pre-recorded video. They only happen when you're live, but shame on me. Okay. All right. I was reaching for my hot glue gun. And I don't know how I just did that. Oh goodness. Bear with me, guys. Hi, Giselle. I'm having pure pandemonium over here. I'm trying to do a live video and I just knocked over my coffee and almost ruined a Mother's Day card. So I managed to ruin the packaging on a stamp. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so I'll show you guys this and probably in a different video. I don't know. So what I'm working on, Giselle, just to let you know, is since in my last video we were discussing hacks, the cheaper or more inexpensive alternative to making, yeah, I'm a hot mess, to make, at least I'm consistent, as my one friend used to say to me. Raquel, she was British, and she would say, at least you're consistent. because I'm so clumsy. So I'm reaching for my hot glue, which is off screen. My cord only goes so long because of the way I have it situated right now. So anyway, I put some hot glue there, and for some reason I can't mute myself. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna place my sticker on top. I'm fighting with my computer because it won't mute me. Do you hear that? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying my hardest, guys. I apologize for that. My computer's being mean. So, all right, so back to the rosettes. I realize I've wasted 15 minutes of your life, and I truly apologize. I was just showing the different ones and the different ways that you can do that. And here's the other thing that I just wet. Oh, my poor little desk. Is that I have a whole other bunch here. Yeah, if I can't laugh at myself, I would end up crying every day, literally. I mean, this is one thing that, you know, I don't know. I guess is great about having lived through tragedies is that you develop a good sense of humor. So I just wanted to show you guys the different things different alternatives. So what I like to do is that I save the little flowers that I make, and I make quite a few of these. I make a lot of flowers actually, because I refuse to go to the store and buy smaller packs of flowers in colors that may or may not match what I'm making. And that's really the only reason, is that I like to customize them. Yes, I do have the rosettes done already. You're right, Giselle. Because and the reason being is that I'm short on time, so when I craft, I have to make multiples, because if not, I will shoot myself in the foot. And so yeah, so if I'm gonna spill coffee all over my creations, at least I have more. So if anyone gets one of my crafts and you get a slight scent of coffee, don't judge me, okay? I'm kidding. Okay, so what I mean about being versatile, and this is, of course, this is a continuum of a previous conversation, is to use what you have in different ways. So don't ever have one tool that only has one function. You can do multiple things. So, oh, you like coffee scent? Good, Evelyn. If it ever happens, I know what to. I'll just be like, oh, it's the new style. You know how people do that? So the new trend is, coffee staining your paper. You know how that came about? Someone just spilled some coffee on a piece of paper and was like, hey, you know what? We're just going to work with this. Yeah, on a junk journal. Totally. Yep. I'm totally, yeah. See? Improvise, like they say in the Marines, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Don't worry about it. Oh, gosh. Anyway. I still have coffee all over. Thank God I have a large desk, because it's literally like the other half over that over there is covered in coffee. Anyway, okay, so back to this. I'm rambling. So this is a very small little die. Oh, goodness. So what I can do is I can obviously top that one off like so. This one was with a sticker that I just made, and then I added the little yarn. So it's going to be sticking out there, but I wanted to show another one. And again, this is, oh, thank you, Katie. Katie, you are such a sweetheart. You guys are like, so gracious to me. And that's one thing I love about this YouTube community, is that I think because you guys can relate to the fact that we all, fumble and make mistakes and all of that stuff, that we can kind of extend that grace to one another when we're doing the videos. Thank God. Oh gosh, because I always say my what was it I was saying, my chauffeur, my maid, and my Hollywood producer, they all took off on me one day, and whatever I was left over with, then that's what I work with. Oh, this is washi tape, guys. I love washi tape. and I'm gonna show you why. I was going to make another one. Where did it go? So I was making some rosettes, and I think I want to say it was Scrap Diva 29. What's her name? Erica? I think Erica was the one that was showing the ones that you can make with a washi tape, which is so brilliant because I know Tim Holtz was saying that in one of his tutorials, was that because the rosettes sometimes kind of like fall apart, you can put washi tape on them. Now this one's just plain, but you can put washi tape on the paper, that way it won't fall apart on you. And then that way you have that little benefit of the adhesive. So what I was doing is, and this is something that I like to do, and I'm just gonna, here it is. I think this is the one. Can't remember now. What I was doing is that, good afternoon, Mrs. Stationery. I was trying to maximize the use of the things that I have in my scrap room, like I just mentioned before. So washi tape, one unique thing that I like about it is that if you fold it over onto itself, like I just did, right? So let's just do it again, right? You fold it over onto itself, it actually becomes much sturdier, okay? And then what I do is I either layer it onto paper, as you know, Tim Holtz showed also, where you cut it out, and Erica showed it also. And then you cut out your paper, it looks great, it's nice and shiny. Another thing that I like to do is I like to make little banners out of it. So I just fold it onto itself, and then I cut in the center, and that's just right down in the middle. Then I cut into that center line, and voila, I've made myself a little banner. Good morning, Vay. Good morning. So now I've got myself like a little banner that I can put on my rosette there. So where's my other one? I had already cut one, but I'm in my, here it is. Here's my other one. Okay, so this is the one that I was gonna make, okay? And there you see the washi tape on that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go with this one. So now I can adhere that to the back. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to do this, and I'm sorry for being off frame for a second. But my like I said, my hot glue gun's a little bit farther away. So I've put my hot glue there, okay? However, here's my little banners that I made. What I'll do is I'll take leftover tulle, okay, the shiny stuff, and I will fold it over. I did the same thing. I just took a strip of tulle, I folded it, and I realized this is, you know, to some people this is not the best way to go about things, but for me it is, because I want to extend my dollars. This is what I was talking about before, is like budget out what is worth to you, and then the rest you can totally do hacks, and that way you get the best of both worlds. It just requires a little bit of creativity, and then you come up with things like this that you made yourself, rather than going out and paying $4 or $3 for a little pack of it at the store, and all it takes is the little snippets of paper that you already have laying around. So I just placed hot glue in the center, and here's my other little piece. That one happens to be made of shinier paper, which is white glitter paper from Hobby Lobby. And there you are, and it's nice and delicate, and if I want to, I can keep going with this. You know, there's no need to stop there. Here's a shiny piece of ribbon, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. Thank you, Vay. And again, oh, thank you, Julia, also for joining us. These are just my little hacks that we had talked about of how to make things and stretch a dollar with items instead of having to go out and buy more. So see if I can focus there. So there's that one. I think it's darling. I think the other, here's my other little tip for you guys, is that if you're going to work on something and you want it to look very dainty, or you want it to be something that is I guess the word I'm going to use is professional or store-bought, okay? Let's just use that word. Then my suggestion is that you use items that are monochromatic in the same color family, because I get that question a lot when people look at a mini album and say did you buy that, or where did you buy that? And 9 times out of 10, I noticed that I'm answering, I made it. And then, which I think can be disheartening, but it doesn't have to be, because then if you find out how, of course, and that's why everyone's here, you want to find out how did she, right? Then I'm here to provide you with ideas, hopefully, that you can take away. Now, where did I start this conversation? I started it off with, like I was sharing before, dollar store stickers, okay? So I took a sticker from the dollar store, I added it to my rosette, I put the frilly yarn behind it, and there I have something that I'm happy looking at. And then, you know, if there's an image also that is repeated, okay, and this is what another way to be monochromatic without having to refer to color in and of itself, is that if you see a flower or a leaf, then hey, you know what, put a flower or a leaf on top. You know, in this case, let me see where my smaller one is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this one instead. Okay, and I think that one, you know, it adds a little something something, right? So what I'll do is I'll add these, and pardon me again for reaching away. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, you know, something that took you hours. It just, in 2 minutes, you can have yourself a nice little embellishment. You know what, I would agree. Thank you so much. And here's what makes me so happy about this sort of thing, is that it looks store-bought, but here's what I used, okay? First ingredient, a sticker, okay? And the, well, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see you get your let's see here, your comments here. So the first ingredient here I would say is the sticker. The stickers from the, as you guys, my Brit friends call them, the pound store. These are from the dollar store here in the US, okay? And I mean, you can't go wrong. They're just as pretty as the very expensive ones. And then the other ingredient was the rosette. Yes, I made it with the dies, but the paper that I used was not very expensive. I'm going to show you guys these paper packs here that we all get. They come with papers that have these that are the striped ones. And let me see if I already pulled them all out. But that's how I like to use. They're meant for borders. Like you get these like that also, which is very pretty. But I may have pulled them all out. What you get is the papers, and I think you guys know what I'm referring to. You get the papers that have the little borders, and they're meant to be for the edge of your page or that sort of thing. Those are perfect for these little rosettes, because that's what I used. And it allows you to have more than one color, for instance, on a rosette, where you can get the edge depending on how you cut it. Now, I wasn't very particular on purpose, because I wanted my rosettes to be whimsical. And here's the other part of what I was saying before. Use your leftovers. So you can get an intricate die, but then the papers can just be leftovers of previous projects. You run it through, and then there you go. You can make yourself something really cute. It doesn't have to be complicated, I guess. And then of course that's where you can extend your supplies, is also using washi tape. Get yourself a really pretty washi tape that you like, put it on your paper, and like this was just a white piece of paper, and you guys just saw me make that. And then it, you know, just keep going with it. You can keep adding items that you like that coordinate. Okay, in this case I can add the little pink pearl in the center. I think I want to go with, actually I'm going to go with gold, because like I was talking about it being monochromatic. So this has gold in it. I'm going to put a gold heart on it. And pardon the mess, but this is how I craft. I want to be transparent with you guys. And just show you, this is how I go about things. I don't plan them out too much. I think having a plan is great in certain aspects, but when it comes to creativity, at least with the way my mind works, if I plan it out too much, it stifles my creativity. And I didn't plan this out at all, and I absolutely love it. There you go. And this was a leftover piece of ribbon that was just laying on my desk. Hi, addicted to nail art and crafts. Giselle, oh, you said Giselle, this, it looks like your bed? Well, if your bed is covered in pretty rosettes, girl, you've got it pretty good. So these were leftover little flowers. I can add them to, let's see here. This one has floral paper, so I would be inclined that if I'm going to use a flower, to use it on something that has floral paper. And if you see the little strings, that's just adhesive. Thank you so very much. These are going to be for a swap. We're not supposed to send extras, but if Evelyn's still around, Evelyn, oops, there may be extras. Evelyn, should I show the tag? Because I finished my tag. Do you guys want to see the tag that I made this year? Because I don't know if I should show it or not, but I'm totally excited about it. And in fact, the other thing that I wanted to show you guys, okay, so let's be done with the rosettes, okay? Because I think you guys get the gist of what I was talking about with that. I made this sample and I made this sample, okay? So I think you guys get what I'm meaning with that. And then I showed some other ones, but yes, and the other thing, guys, is that with the way that I like to craft is that I try to always have 3 projects going on at once. Some people call that ADD. I call it multitasking. I learned that from my mother. So what's, you know, and this is another thing I was mentioning before is that, you know, thank you so much, that what someone may call, what do you call it? What someone may put a negative label on might actually be your greatest asset. I want to convey that message in every single one of my videos, because if someone tells you that you have to only focus on one thing at a time to be efficient, that is a big fat lie. We women can multitask, and that doesn't mean that we have a problem, you know? So let's take a look at this little card here. This was made with a leftover stamp, if you can believe that. It will be a jaw-dropping experience to get it live. Oh, okay. Awesome, Evelyn. Then I'll show the tag in just a second. So what I wanted to show you guys is just really quickly, this stamped image here, what I did was that I stamped her twice because I was actually using her in another card that I made for my mother. And the stamp in and of itself was still wet, okay? Just kind of like it is right now, only right now it's covered in coffee. But, because that's where I spilled my coffee, guys. So see, now I'm going to have a coffee stained stamp. But she was still wet with the ink that when I stamped her before. So I took my second generation stamp, that's what it's called. Exactly. And what I did was that I stamped her again with what was left over. I colored her, I fussy cut her out, and here we are. She's now on a different card. Whereas if I had just washed it off, I would have wasted that ink, and that ink led to this, you know? So don't underestimate the fact that you can just, you know, restamp something, set it aside, do it on nice paper or anything like that, and then later on you might come to it and be able to quick use it on a project. I literally have an entire drawer of things like that where I go, oh, wait a minute, let me go ahead and restamp that, or let me fussy cut this right now because an idea just came to mind, and then I'll set it aside. Here's an example of that, okay? So I did not use this on the project that I had in mind at that moment. because I was making a particular card, but this was my kind of like test run. Well, this will end up on a different card. And I'm not going to waste that because paper, let's, you know, we all love hoarding paper and all that stuff. But if all of a sudden, impromptu, I get this, I need to make a quick card. Well, like I said before, my monochromatic, you know, ideas, I can make a card. Pardon that, because I've got long hair and it gets everywhere. I can make a card and just add a little rosette to it, add a little stamped image in the center, and boom, I'm done. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's another little pointer. Let's see here. Let me move this aside so I don't wet it with coffee again. Let's see here. The other thing that I was asked in a video was regarding coffee, and let me show you, because this is from the blog hop that I just did. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it and enter yourself. Tomorrow's the last day to enter. If you answer the questions and you're a visible subscriber, you can enter to win a couple of images from Julia Sperry. So these flowers here are made with coffee filters. Now this is an old technique. It's nothing new. I didn't come up with it myself. But what I did was that I wanted to add some whimsical flowers to this. And if you've seen that video, I'm sorry for, you know, I don't mean to be repetitive, but thank you so much. But I was asked to show how to make these, and I can't do it today because I have a little bit of time left for this video. But I wanted to let you guys know this is a really inexpensive way to make flowers that still look cute. And now, mind you, I didn't add any gel medium, but you can definitely add gel medium to these flowers to make them a little more sturdy if that really soft texture bothers you, okay? So that's another pointer. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you before I say goodbye, because I do have to get going, is the tag. So here it is. Da, 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 da. I'm so excited. This is the tag. I'm going to move this out of the way. And here's what I did. I use the theme is The theme is glam. That's what it was. It was glam. So I made a shaker, okay? And I made it with that awesome, super duper gorgeous perfume bottle from Nicole Silhouette. And what I did was that yarn that I was showing you guys, I used it there, and it's eyelash yarn, just to make it, you know, frilly. Thank you so much. I used a small bow there, and now this was my main focal image on this tag, right? So what I wanted to do was pull out of this main image the colors that I was going to use in the surrounding items here. So what I did was that because I used the pink and the mint green, and there are pinks in the image. Let me see if I can focus this, and here we go. Oh, yay, it focused. So she is a Tonic Studio stamp. I maybe will do another tutorial on how to stamp like that so that it looks like it's store-bought, because I stamped and colored that image. And what I did was that I heat embossed the stamp image first, and then I colored her in. I fussy cut her and put her on the colored paper behind her, and then I took my sequins, I tried to match them to what was going on there as best as I could. So there she is. And then I used other stamps that I have. I don't know if I can find at this moment. Where are they? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll show them at a different time. But in any case, I used some other stamps that I have, and I stamped it onto vellum, which is something that I love to do. And I heat embossed it. So let me see if I can focus on that. Oh, this camera. Here we go. Okay, so that's heat embossed. And the embossing powder has glitter in it also. So of course, I had to do that. And then I matched my flowers, which you guys just saw a minute ago. I matched these flowers to what was happening by using Distress Oxides. And that is very easy to do. It's just a matter of, Yes, glam. That's what we were going for, right? Now, this here was another die that I just fell in love with recently. But what I did was that I adhered it to just a square piece of paper that I folded on the edges so that I could create a pocket. And before adhering that square piece of paper onto my tag, I added these little edges here. And the other part of that circular die that you see here, instead of just letting it go to waste, and I'm sorry for the focus, for some reason it's messing around today, but so this die here, instead of letting that other half go to waste, I snipped it and I added it to the bottom here. And to other people, I mean, that might mean nothing, but to me, I'm just like, that's another little detail that I like. So, okay, so enough about that. The top is just Marianne Designs, if I'm not mistaken, Marianne Designs. It's a corner die, only I used it to create the top there. I also took white paint, and with my finger, I just went like this on the paper. Boom, it's distressed. And that's very inexpensive. White paint is probably one of the cheapest and more versatile craft items that you can have in your craft room, right? And it's not done yet because I do want to kind of add something up here. But then on the inside, because I did make it a pocket, I went ahead and made this little sleeve here. And it has two little envelopes. So I heat embossed that one with the little swan. This one I stamped. And then inside I made a 3x3 little card. And it's got the little perfume bottle. That one's from Spellbinders, I think it is. I can't remember now. And then in here, I used another one of those corner dies just to add a little detail there. And I think I have, what is it? I'm going to add something else to this little envelope, but I had the little gloves. I wanted to include those because I thought they were so cute. And actually, that card is the only card that I did like that. I'm probably going to show you the other ones. But this is the little kind of sleeve pocket that I added in there. And what I did was that I stamped and embossed a shoe, and then I stamped the little bow onto vellum and added it on top with a little gem. Oh, hi, Darlene. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I just didn't have much time to announce the live video, but I wanted to just come along. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm kind of in a really happy mood. And I wanted to stop by and answer some questions, not all of them, but some questions that I got in the last live video. And let me show you before I go. Let's see here. The other, because I did make more than one, pardon me 1 second. Here we go. So this is the one that I'm keeping basically, and the other ones are gonna get the little card that I had made also. So that's why I designed it like this, was because I wanted it to house the little Dex card to go along with it, and that'll just have the details of the swap. So that's just gonna go in there like so. And then the other envelopes have, on the inside, they have a nicer card than the one I made for myself. They have this one. Because again, the theme was glam. And I found this little die and I thought it was so adorable. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, Vay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So this one is a little gold, I cut it out of gold paper and then I added the little gems there and a snippet of lace. And it's it's clean and simple with that little touch of shabby. Thank you so much, Darlene. I truly enjoy it. You know what I do is that I try to, I don't know, I admire these ladies so much. They're all so very creative. And so what I try to do is incorporate things into what I'm going to give them that I feel they might like according to their taste. So I know that these ladies, they are all very classy. They're, they like quality things, and so I tried to give them the best, put my best foot forward, as people say, you know. And I was so blessed to be able to get a couple of dies and and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to share that. And I just fell in love with it. I bought this. This was not given to me to show. I bought this because I saw Nicole's die for this perfume bottle, and I love perfume, so I was like, yes, I need to get that. And yeah, and so I just had so much fun making these. I'm so happy to be able to participate in something like that. And like I said before, it was I consider it a gift to myself because it's just fun. And yeah, so do you guys have any, thank you, Darlene. You're such a sweetie. Do you guys have any questions for me before I go? I know I kind of lightly touched over some subjects there regarding, what people are now calling hacks, which I don't like that word. I don't like it. Is there anything else that you guys would like to know? I'd like to open the floor, as people say, to discussion and, and answer questions. Any questions that you may have, other than how do I make my own, thank you, Evelyn. How do I make my own tea, or what is it, coffee stain paper? I do it live. I do it live while Evelyn is watching. Oh, Lordy. So do you guys have any questions for me? I was intending on totally making a Rosette live, but I think that that's kind of like watch paint dry, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should go that route. Because I was going to get out my Martha Stewart scoreboard and be like, look, you don't need to buy a die. But I don't know. I'm going to try to update my chat here. Let me see. It's kind of hard to, to do the live thing. All right. I don't think I want to venture into trying to type and talk. Hi, Jolie. Thank you for coming by. Oh my gosh. Jolie, this is a sneak peek. Sneaky peeky. This is I should change the title to the disaster title or the disaster live video by Paints and Glitter and brought to you by Bustelo. Oh my gosh. So yeah, do you guys have any questions regarding supplies, regarding my my hacks? Thank you, Julia. You missed the part where I was like, okay, I'll be right back. Evelyn, I'm sorry. I spilled my coffee all over my stamp. But you know what? Life happens, right? So yeah, I always have an embarrassing story to tell because that's me. That's who I am in a nutshell. So see, now it's coffee stain. So maybe I should make something with the packaging and come back and be like, oh, look, look at how clever. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, Giselle saw it. Giselle's a witness to my calamity. Oh. Oh goodness gracious. But you know what? That's how I say that's the way God keeps me humble. Yeah, exactly, Julia. We were talking about that, saying that, this is how coffee dyeing came about. It wasn't anyone being clever. It just they were like me. Completely clueless. And then they were like, let's just wing it, go with it and see if it sticks. And then all of a sudden it's a thing, right? Yep, it's going to be my junk journal tag. Totally. I'm totally going to do that because my life is a junk journal. Oh my gosh. There are so many crafty references that I make that, when I'm talking to people and they just look at me funny because they have no clue what I'm talking about. But, oh yes. Yes, Darlene. And you know what? I try to improvise, like I was saying earlier, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And, oh, you know what? Before I forget, because this is another thing that I was going to show you guys. The reason these aren't finished, because they're not finished yet, Yep, I certainly do, Jolie. I laugh at myself more than I think other people do because, oh my goodness, you know? Just when I think I've got it going on, as they say, then it's like, oh, rude awakening. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I just kicked my keyboard, so sorry about the plus sign. This is what I wanted to do. Was the little ribbon that I want to add at the top. This is seam binding, and I got this at a resale shop. And let's see here, cracked pistachio. This is the color that I wanted to use to match the bow and the, you know, that frilly stuff there. Excuse me. So what I want to do is I'm gonna dye my own seam binding. So there's another thing you can do. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave this piece of paper here because of the glare. But what you can do, and if you guys have never done this before, it's just water and ink. But this ink is just the bomb diggity, as I call it. I'm aging, or, you know, dating myself. But let me move it aside a little bit because I do need to use the glass mat. And I'm gonna move these before I ruin them. And I'm gonna do this in, oh my gosh, I keep kicking my keyboard. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. So, oh, yeah, and a greeting card. Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally. Okay, so, oh, I'm sorry. So let me share a really embarrassing story, okay? Because I love sharing my embarrassing stories. When I first met my mother-in-law, oh my gosh, you know what I did? She's got a 2-story home, and I was trying to be all cute, and, you know, I was like, oh, can I use the restroom? So I went, I went to the restroom upstairs to be discreet, you know, and she's so lovely. And then I fell down the stairs on the way down. I fell like so bad that it was like, I don't even know if my foot ever touched the top step. I flew all the way down those stairs, and I got so nervous that I laughed for like 45 minutes. I could not, it was like one of those nervous laughs where you sound psychotic. And it was because I was so nervous. And then on top of it, I fell down the stairs, and thank God I didn't get hurt. But that's my life. All right, so if you see, okay, if you guys can see that, I literally just put ink on my mat, and then I sprayed it with water. And there's my seam binding, and this is how technical I am. I just do this, okay, in that little pool of ink. And now I want it to be light, so I'm just gonna let it kind of do its thing. And then smush it up like this. And you guys are gonna see in a moment. I love this because it's gonna have a nice color to it, but it won't be too dark. So there's that. Okay, so here's my white piece of paper now. And of course I would dry this with my my heat gun. And you can dry it, kind of smush it up and dry it, and then loosen it. And you're gonna get the same color. And this is what I like about it, is that it's gonna be the same exact color as what I did here with this little flower. It's gonna match. And then, you know, you can kind of hold it side by side and say whether or not you want more intensity in that color. But that is, you know, if you are tight on funds and you want to have a product in your craft room that really has, you know, you can extend to a lot of different types of mediums and projects, I highly recommend the little distressings. So if you want to support my channel, go ahead and use my BLITSY link below. I'm going to do my shameless plug because you can get these on blitsy.com for a great price. And they sometimes have flash sales, but plus if you spend, I think it's $50 now, you get free shipping. So there's that. I had a finished sample of this, and I'm so sorry I've made such a disaster here that now I can't find it, because I was going to show you guys what it's going to look like at the end. Oh, here it is. So I did this one in pink. Sorry, it's not the same color, but this is how it's going to end up looking. And how pretty is that? Let me do this. See how gorgeous that is? And that was just with Distress ink. So yeah, so that's another one of my little hacks, if you will. And nothing, you know, none of this is new. So just to let you guys know, these are just things that you learn along the way. I agree. Gathering Jewels, thank you for stopping by. They're, the colors are quite intense, just to let you guys know. So this isn't gonna fade. And that's what I love about it, is that it looks like you tie-dyed it or that you bought it that way. You fell in the middle of the road when in 10th grade and was very embarrassed. The good thing was a very good looking guy helped. Oh, see? There you go, Darlene. Turned into a blessing. Did you do the whole, oh, I've fallen and I can't get up? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's happened to me, especially, and it's always like when you think you're looking real cute. It never happens when you're, you know, home alone. It's always when you're in public. Story of my life. But yeah, like I said, kind of. See, Darlene, here's the thing. Okay, now, if you were Hispanic, you would have pretended to faint. That's what my mother says. She says, if you ever fall in public, this is what you do, sweetheart. Just pretend that you fainted. And go, oh, because that's what they do in all the soap operas, the telenovelas. The women just faint, like, just because. It's hilarious. So, oh gosh. But anyway, so this is almost dry now. All right, guys. So do you have any questions? Because I have 3 more minutes before I have to go and call it quits. I showed you guys, let me do the recap. The different rosettes. I showed you guys, yeah, Darlene, just pretend to faint. Put that in your back pocket for the next one. Then you'll be prepared. Totally, you know, if you fall in public, just totally pretend you fainted. And if anyone asks, just be like, oh, my blood sugar, it dropped. I need to eat a cookie. Someone help. Oh gosh. So I showed you guys the seam binding. I showed you guys the tags, the adorable tags. Let's see here. What was the other thing? And this is, you know, this is going to go on there. And I can't wait to finish it because I think it's going to look so stinking cute. And then this was just regular ribbon that I added on the top. But what was the other thing? How to do I showed you guys how to do the little flags with the washi to add to your projects. And how to use a dollar store sticker to make something look a little fancy schmancy with the little bits and pieces of whatever you have on hand. Yeah, and how to use a leftover stamp for your cards also, to not throw those images out. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions on my feed here on my computer. So I'm just going to say a huge, huge thank you to you guys. Oh, yes, no problem, Darlene. It wasn't in detail. This I didn't go into detail for, but I did show you guys how to make just a couple of little rosettes there. So if, yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I thank you so much for supporting me, for stopping by and helping me get some great laughs. I just love, love, love joining in with other crafty ladies and chatting away. And just sharing, you know, sharing what we all love. And as I always say, I encourage you to create and love, be inspired and be blessed. Have a beautiful afternoon. And if you need to reach me, I'm available at paintsandglitter@gmail.com. Thank you, Vay. I will. I was chatting with my bestie this morning and letting her know there's absolutely nothing in this world that I lack. I just, I am blessed beyond measure, and I thank every single one of you guys because you add to my blessings. So I thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, adios, hasta la próxima.